Welcome back, Lelanders, to a new episode of Intellivision Amico content. Now, this is one of my favorite topics to do live streams about. I know it's not super popular, but let's see. I clicked the wrong screen. Now, what we'll be talking about today is Tommy and Intellivision and Amico. They just released their games today, and we'll be discussing why I purchased them. So, I know a lot of people are probably wondering, what the heck? You're one of the biggest haters of Amico.
But, yes, Leland, you're one of the worst Amico haters of all.
No, I just want to clarify, as much as I hate the Intellivision Amico, I don't like the idea of it. I wish it was a different console. I still like Intellivision, I still like Tommy. That's one of the main reasons why I bought the games. But let's go over what buying the games is like. I think I got a few slides ready for it. Ah, fuck. Hopefully, let's see. I'll try to open the slides here without showing pictures of boobs on the screen. There we go, we did it. Alright, so if anyone's wondering, what did I order? Let's go check it out. Oh, it doesn't even say there. Alright, this one does. So, what did I order? It turns out I picked up a pack of 8. That's my order confirmation number. I don't know if that's confirmed that there's 1,300 people that have ordered already, but looks like it might be. And yeah, that's what I did. I got the limited collector's boxed edition complete bundle for 150 bucks, which came to 166 US dollars. And convert that to Canadian, I think that's a fair chunk of coin. Let's check it out. Convert 166 US dollars to Canadian. Holy shit. Yeah, right now it says that came to $207 Canadian with shipping. So, I don't know, that's a lot of money to spend on a product that I may never get to use. Some people have been debating whether or not the Amico will ever launch. And to be honest, I was right there with those guys, because I was thinking, dear God, man, Intellivision really doesn't have any good money coming in, from what I could tell, unless those Intellivision classics are still making the money. But yeah, so I was getting very concerned that the Amico would even launch. I know Pat and Ian have discussed it. They've been doing a lot of extra crowdfunding. So I was like, holy shit, I don't know. Like, I seen the size of the offices they have. They have, what, 2 offices, one in Utah, another one in Europe or something. But anyways, yeah, those offices, they look like $1 million a month offices, not to mention all the staff they had working. And to be honest, when they did the tour, it looked like no one was doing any work. They're just sitting around playing games. So I was like, holy shit. No, I was a little bit concerned with Tommy that I think he'd be a really nice boss to work for, maybe too nice to the point where nothing would get done at the company. So it's a little bit concerning. So let's see. Let's go to the store and see what we can actually buy here. Right, so what they had for sale. Let's make that a little bit sideways. Alright, there we go. So it looks like you could buy the pack of 8, a limited edition pack of 4, or another pack of 4, which I thought was kind of odd. At first, what I was planning on doing was just buying one individual game. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't have individual games, unless they already sold out and this is what's left. So yeah, if it was me, I was probably just going to buy the Bomberman game. Or what is it called? Yeah, first I put this in my cart, because I like Dynablaster. I was a big Bomberman player growing up. So I was thinking, hey, let's buy Dynablasters. And what are some of the game cases I got here? Star Strike. We've got some cards, original Intellivision cards, Astro Smash and the poker one. So I think it was announced today that what comes with it, let's read what it says. Everyone was sort of wondering what's in the box. I know it leaked out before Sunday, but I figured we'll wait till Tommy officially announces it just to make sure. So anyway, so what was leaked, or what was announced by Tommy today, I'll try to highlight it so we can read it. It says our collector's box edition bundle volume 1, Evil Knievel, Dynablaster, Missile Command, and Ridge Force Redux Enhance. Each boxed edition comes with a 3D lenticular card, a premium metal coin, and an RFID game card. that will automatically activate once each title is available in our game shop. And so far that seems like a big if it's ever available. I hope it will be. Quantities are limited, so don't miss your chance to own a piece of gaming history. I know some people that are buying these games, they're doing it just so that they can make money off of it. They're buying them hoping that the console never comes out and that they can resell them for profit. And to be honest, I'm not doing the greatest money-wise in real life anyway, so that is a very tempting reason, part of the reason why I bought it, to be honest. But personally, I think now that these games are out and Intellivision is starting to get real revenue, not just, hey, Mr. Khan is here. What is an Amico Games? Yeah, let's fill in some of the viewers what Amico Games is. Well, to give the whole story, Intellivision is a company that kicked ass at making video game consoles and games back in, what was it, the early 1980s. So it was like right around the age of Atari. You know, when the Atari, yeah, this game, it says Mattel. Yeah, it was a company owned by Mattel before, 1981. Well, there's no way you're going to read that. Oh, maybe there. Mattel, 1981. Come on, focus, you whore. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So anyways, you can see the blurry words that say 1981. And if anyone wonders what made this Intellivision company so amazing back in 1981, they were the company that did the list of firsts. They're the first to come out with like a 16-bit console, way before the other consoles did. They're the first to have sort of downloadable games, except you didn't keep copies of the games. You just had to hook up your cable to it, and you could download games like off the store to the console and play them. And what else were they having? Yeah, the first with good graphics, first with licensed, fully licensed games. Like they had like NFL football or Major League Baseball. So yeah, it was, and they were the first ones to have a really wild controller. I wish I had a picture of the Intellivision controller. Let's bring it up. Oh crap, that's not good. Oh yeah, I think we're okay. Intellivision Wikipedia. Right, so this was the console. I actually own the console, and this little like controller, you can see how it has numbers like a phone. What you would do is you take these cards that came with the game box, like the game box, you open it up, and it would have like cards and the cartridges inside. Sadly, I don't have any cartridges left unless I have one in storage somewhere. But I do have some of the cards. So like for seniors that weren't very good at learning buttons on controllers, you could just give them this card, and it would tell them what each number does in the game. So when you put a new game in the console, you put the card in, and boom, yeah, then you could give it to your mom, your dad, your grandparents, and say, if you forget the buttons, just look at the card. Like the card would tell you when to shoot, or what buttons to press to shoot, what buttons to press to do special attacks. So yeah, it was a freaking wild console. And what happened was, is this console obviously died, and over the years, eventually it got bought, or I guess hired, I've heard mixed reports, by Tommy Tallarico. And yeah, they're the first to have computer components. They wanted to make it a computer. RAM expansions, an IntelliVoice add-on. They upgraded the system to eventually have controllers that detached. That's the main reason that I quit playing Intellivision, is the controller broke and it was hardwired in. So once the controller broke, you had to buy a new system. So that really sucked. Oh yeah, and it was the high-end console gaming. This was back when video game consoles, you had ones for like poverty families, and you had ones for super rich families. So the super rich family edition, like the Intellivision, was like a $600 console back in the 80s. Like in today's money, it'd be worth about $600. So it was like really high end. Mostly like if the only times you'd play it if someone was either rich or if someone got it used like years later. That's how I got my copy. My family wasn't rich, but we were buying discount games at like second-hand stores like Sally Ann's and Salvation Army and whatnot. So that's where I got my Intellivision. It's probably why the controller didn't last very long. So they sold 3 million consoles. Yeah, you can see the 16 directional D-pad, and the online service was Play Cable. Yeah, so if anyone thinks I was making it up, oh, the best-selling games are Blackjack. That's actually the card that I have right here. It's a Blackjack card. You can make that out. So if anyone wants to see the list of Intellivision games, let's check it out. They actually had some really good games. They had auto racing, boxing, Major League Baseball, soccer, basketball, football, NHL hockey, bowling, PGA golf, tennis, skiing. Skiing was an amazing game. Oh, and they had Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So this was a kick-ass game back then. Frog Bog. I don't know, was Frog Bog sort of like Frogger? I had it, but I can't remember it. Lock and Chase, Night Stalker, Shark, Snafu. This is one of the best games I ever played. I heard that it came out for cell phones later, but yeah. So what I'm getting at is this console has relaunched. Tommy Tallarico bought it, and he's making a new version of it, which I think is a great idea, but I don't like some of the new features so far, but... Oh yeah, they had Tron Deadly Discs. That was a sick game. I had that one. Space Armada, Space Hawk, Star Strike. Star Strike is the one that I got here. Still kept the box. Backgammon, checkers, chess, Utopia. Utopia was actually the first Sim City game to ever launch. It's like a simulation game where you design a city. Sometimes the weather would come in and destroy your city. And you had to fish and stuff. I'm trying to remember all the details of Utopia. I'd have to watch another commercial for it or a review because I haven't played it in years. So apparently they're going to make a new Utopia game. That's the one I really wanted to buy, but it's not out yet. Alright, so a bunch of casino games. They had math games. They had games like Bomberman. Tron Solar Sailor. I didn't ever even see that one. That's pretty wild. Another Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Wow. Kool-Aid Man. Masters of the Universe. So this was like a really high-end video game system that was just so much better than Atari. But most people only remember Atari because it was affordable. And people actually bought the Atari more. As far as I know. Oh yeah, it had Donkey Kong. It had Donkey Kong Jr. Atlantis. Atlantis is one of my favorite strains of weed, and it's one of my favorite TV shows. And I like researching ancient mystery, so I love Atlantis. Dracula, Dragonfire, Ice Trek, Mycosurgeon. Qbert, yeah, holy shit, they even had Star Wars? I didn't know Star Wars was on Intellivision. That'd be sick. That'd be probably a good one to collect. Dig Dug, that was a very popular game. They had learning games, like educational games. I was surprised. A lot of the educational games are actually fun. Where's Microsurgeon? So anyways, there's tons of games. They even had a game that you could do surgery, and it actually required using both controllers at the same time. Like holding one controller in each hand. And I've like never heard of a game console that did that before, so that was pretty wild. So yeah, this new Intellivision system is getting remade, and let's close this. And this is what the new one looks like. I don't know, can we get to the actual console? I don't know, I guess not from this page. They should have like a home button somewhere where you can get back to the home menu, right? Alright, so let's try opening it. Intellivision Amico. Yeah, so what happened was Intellivision is getting remade by Tommy Tallarico. He's a guy that's been reviewing video games. If you lived in Canada back in the 90s, he was like one of the most popular people on TV. I know a lot of people say I just kiss his ass because he's a big time celebrity, but no, I'm actually very critical of what he does as well, so I'm not just an ass kisser. If you don't believe me, ask Tommy. He's probably heard a lot of my criticism. No, he was into going to Dubai and the United Emirates to do Amico stuff. Oh yeah, Video Games Live. So yeah, he's been involved in it a lot. And this is their design for the new console. And personally, I'm not a big fan of screens. I think in today's society we have too many screens. So that's why I wish they would have stayed with the card system instead of adding these screens. And the screens actually ran up the price on the controllers dramatically. And I think made the system a lot more complicated than it needed to be. But hey, Tommy knows a lot more about video games than I do, so I wouldn't be surprised if his ideas actually turn out to be for the better, and I just don't see it yet. So yeah, there's been a whole bunch of delays with this console, but to be fair, most things that are getting made these days, they always have delays. So when people are making fun of them for that, I think that's a little bit uncalled for. I know the games delays. There was a, what is it, Relic Gamer or whatever, he was doing a show about it. He said that the quality of games, like most of these games are mobile quality games launching for this. So he's saying that they should only take about 2 years. But yeah, the introductory price was supposed to be a lot cheaper, but it ended up skyrocketing in price, due in part to the pandemic, but also because yeah, these screens and stuff, it's really expensive. Yeah, and then Tommy's got into a bit of war of words. I know Tommy's got a dark side like everyone else. Who doesn't have a dark side? And he gets into arguments with people a lot, just like me. So that's why I kind of relate to Tommy. I'm like, yeah, I have a pretty bad dark side, and I get into a lot of arguments with people. So yeah, these are some of the games that they're supposed to be launching. Cornhole, like a Bomberman game, Battle Tanks. Earthworm Jim 4 is supposed to launch for it. I'm not a big fan of the Earthworm Jim franchise. I know a lot of people are, but Microsurgeon. Or no, these are still old ones. Never mind. Or maybe they're new ones. No, that's still the old ones. No, this is for Amico. It's giving a list of the 86 games they're thinking about relaunching. So personally, I wanted to invest in this company, but I wasn't able to because our province blocked the investments for it, which I thought was kind of cheeseball. But just to disclose, if I could invest in this, I would. Not because I like the Amico, just because I want it to succeed. And I think if Tommy succeeds, it would make me happy as well. I know a lot of people that seem to hate on the Amico. They hate Tommy and they want him to fail. But I just hate on it because I want more from it. Because I like the idea of a new Intellivision. I wanted to have the old style controller. I can't let go of these cards. You can tell I'm a bit of a hoarder in real life. So like I have a huge video game collection. So yeah, it's hard for me to let go of stuff. So anyways, let's get on. So that's what the Intellivision Amico is. It's like a new console, but the old games reimagined. And they're supposed to come out with new games too. No, people that are arguing it and hating on it, Evil Knievel, you can get it for free. It's like a free mobile game. But Tommy's defense, he said he's going to change some of the game to make it exclusive to the Amico, like some of the game, not the whole game, but some of it exclusive. So yeah, that's what I was looking at. I ended up, originally I was going to buy the first bundle pack. Or no, I was going to buy the second. Let me check. I was going to buy the one that has Bomberman in it. Yeah, I was going to buy this. I almost added it to the cart. Well, I did. But then I decided to just go with the actual big order and go for all 8 games. Because I'm like, man, I've shit on Tommy's project quite a bit. So at least I should like put my money where my mouth is. I actually support him as well, not just being critical. So I actually went all out and I bought the 8 game pack. So let's check out what I'll be getting. And to be fair, what I plan to do with these games is I'm going to put them on my shelf as like collector things to hoard and not even open them. Who knows, I might open one of them just to see what it's like. But yeah, what I also do is I might give away the games to viewers on the show. If anyone's into Amico, maybe on Amico live stream that gets a lot of people in the chat. So who knows, maybe when these games arrive, I'll give them out, depending if they skyrocket in value. See, that's what one of the debates that's happening right now. Everyone's wondering, these are collector's edition games for a console that may never launch. If the company keeps having problems and they can't launch the console, these games will be for sale for a console that you can't play them on. Not to mention there's no game in the actual box. As you can see, it's just like a 3D card, a metal coin, an RFID card. And everyone's been asking me too, like, are the RFID cards enabling you to download the games and store the whole game on a hard drive somewhere on the console, like a memory card? I do not believe that's true. If I had to guess, Tommy, like rightfully so, he's very anti-piracy. So when you get these games, I'm pretty sure they're going to be streamed to your console in small packets. You will never receive the full version of the game ever. Because if you did, you would be able to copy it and share it with your friends. They wouldn't have to buy the games. And that would completely defeat Tommy's business model. So if I had to guess, since the main investor is David Perry, the founder of Cloud Gaming, I think technically Intellivision won't be using cloud gaming, but it'll be using cloud gaming technology as their own type of cloud. So yeah, you'll be able to play the Intellivision Amico games at your friend's house instantly. So basically you bring your controller to your friend's house, and if they have the Amico, you'll be able to play the games right away without even having to download them, because it's just going to stream it right to the console. And as soon as you leave, you won't have the game on your friend's hard drive. He won't have to delete anything because you never had the whole game. You're just streaming it. Not that there's anything wrong with streaming, but I think it's one of those things that people are getting really confused about. They think they're going to have the full version games. They'll be able to like put ROMs and play them on other consoles. I don't think that's going to work the same way with Amico. I could be wrong about that, and Tommy will actually give the whole game file, but I highly, highly doubt it. Now, that was one of my first predictions, actually, when I was doing videos about Intellivision. I was like, I really don't think we're getting the full version of the games ever. Like, people keep talking about using the ROMs and being able to download them and play them on other consoles, like emulators, but I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, see, that's what someone did. They zoomed in on one of the images and sees that it comes with a collector's coin, a 3D card. So that's pretty cool. So another reason people would ask, like, why would I buy these Amico games? A, I want to put them on my shelf. B, I could do reviews about the games for my channel. C, I could help support Tommy. D, I could help support Intellivision, because I'd love to see them come out with an adult console, one that has like really gory graphic sex games and stuff. So I don't know, like the odds of that happening is probably slim to none, because it seems like Tommy's left that side of his life behind. But no, Tommy, if anyone doesn't know, he used to be a big supporter of like really graphically violent games and stuff. And then I think what happened is you had a lot of those school shootings and stuff occur. So maybe Tommy's like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have been promoting like super violent games. Although he does say in a lot of his speeches, like when he does public speaking, that he doesn't think like really violent games promote people to commit acts of violence. We can keep both separately. So yeah, let's hope that's the case. Not that Tommy would feel guilty about, encouraging people to go crazy in school shootings or something. But yeah, this Dynablaster game, if I had to keep one in my collection and not give it away, I'd probably keep Dynablaster. I'm a big fan of Bomberman games, so yeah, that's one of my favorites. Missile Command, I can't say I want to play. I've played Evel Knievel, like the cell phone version before, or knockoffs of it, and it's a really fun game, but I doubt I'd have that much time to play it. And I'm kind of an Evel Knievel fan. I know I'm born in the 70s, but late 70s. So the whole Evel Knievel stuff is pretty much before my time. I think I did watch a little bit of it on Super Dave or something, but that was about it. Alright, so what do we got? Missile Command. That looks like a pretty good game. Oh yeah, and then that was the one thing. People are saying that there's a good side and a bad side to these games. If they don't ever work because the console fails to launch, then these will become even rarer and maybe worth more, or they could be worth less. I can't offer investment advice, I'm just guessing, right? I'm no expert on investing. As you can tell, I'm like near 50, living in my mom's basement because my life fell apart, but yeah, but hopefully I can turn that around one day soon. Alright, so Moon Patrol, not that living in your parents' basement is that bad. I know a lot of people bash it, make fun of it, but hey, I'm helping my family out, they're helping me out. That's how families used to work in the old days. Everyone helping each other, right? So as much as I look as a shit show on one side, it's actually not that bad on the other. Yeah, so I don't know which game I'll actually open for my live stream. Maybe if some of the viewers want to put in the chat when the games arrive, which one should I open? I know it's probably stupid to open it because it'll just kill the value of it, but I don't know. I'm not really buying it just for the value. Maybe what I'll do is I'll open one of the games and then give that one away on a live stream. Because I know a lot of people have been helping me out over the past few months, or actually years, with the channel, doing patrons and doing super chats and all that, so I really appreciate that. So I'll try to get some cool giveaways for the fans. Now right now the giveaway that I'm doing is if we reach 10 likes for an episode, what I'll do is give away an Anubis amulet. I tried last time, but the person who won it never contacted me back, so I wasn't able to get their mailing address to mail it to them, so that whole plan failed so far. Rigid Force Reduxed Enhanced. I think I've seen a commercial for this one. Looks pretty cool. Moon Patrol, I tried the cell phone game version of it. Can't say I liked it very much. I'm not really big into these side-scrolling games anymore. I've actually outgrown a lot of video game content these days. As you can tell, I play like a massively online multiplayer for real money, which is like a very adult game. Then I also play Clone Evolution. Finnegan Fox, it's pretty sure another free-to-play mobile game, but they're going to make some original content for the Amico. And I'm not into side-scroller ones, so this might be one that I give away as well. Biplanes looks kind of neat. Oh yeah, and the focus on a lot of these games is multiplayer like local, so you can play against your friends and family. I know I really don't have much of either that'll be able to play the games with me at my house. Maybe I'll be able to bring it to a games night, but my friends pretty much laughed hysterically at me and said this looks like the worst console they've ever seen. So I don't know I'll be able to convince my friends to play it at games night, hopefully. Who knows, maybe I'll bring it and they'll try it and then their whole opinion will be changed. Because really, like Tommy says, like you can't really knock one of these video games until you've really tried it. Brain Duel, can't say I like that one. Click here to review our e-commerce policy. Returns, canceling an order, damaged product, website errors, orders. Now I'm starting to get really excited. Like I don't even... So am I buying this? Yeah, let's show. Let's prove that I actually did buy the games. Now there's actually, I was just about to mention, this is how much it cost me buying it in Canada. I got the 8-pack. It came to $166 and roughly 50 cents. In order to ship it all the way to Canada, like I live in Ontario near Toronto, so that's a pretty big shipping fee. But it's only 16 bucks. The problem is that this cost is US dollars, and in Canada our fucking currency is like worthless. I know we've got a leftist leader that's driving our economy into the ground, making our money worth basically nothing, but I know Biden's a leftist too and he's doing better, so I shouldn't just blame it on left or right. It could just be Justin's problem and maybe it has nothing to do with what party he's actually with. So let's do it again. What does it come to? $166.49 US converted to Canadian. I'm just asking Google. Yeah, so Google says I spent... Ah, fuck, man. It told me before. Let's try it again. $166 US converted to Canadian.
166 United States dollars equals 207 Canadian dollars
which is a hell of a lot of
and 14
money
cents.
for me. Like, I'm in a pretty pov situation, so spending this much on the games is pretty much all my spending money for the rest of the year. Sorry, family and friends, I was supposed to buy Christmas gifts for. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not that pov. I will still be able to buy some Christmas gifts, but probably not as big as Christmas gifts anymore. Alright, so yeah, that's one of the reasons that I bought these games, was to help support Tommy, help support the Intellivision company. I can't really stand the Amico idea. I really wish Amico would went a whole different direction. More games geared to adults, lots of graphic violence, lots of like adult themed content. I don't like the idea of making it a kids game system, but I don't know. That's just me. I know a lot of people are probably thinking the same thing. They like the Amico, that they kind of wish that it was more for adults, that it was more for gamers, but you never know, right? Like I figure if Intellivision does really well and they're able to like get the company off the ground, it goes well and they make shitloads of money, all their investors are happening, then it could be sky's the limit, right? Like they could end up making so much money that they can make it like an Intellivision adult console after. That's kind of my biggest like dream goal. If Intellivision came out with another console after Amico, I know it's kind of like looking really far into the future because Amico still has a long way to go, but that's really what I'm hoping for. And I agree with Tommy in a way that Intellivision, or gaming in general, has a lot of issues these days. I'm not sure his solutions are actually going to solve any of those issues, but I like the idea that he acknowledges the issues and is trying something to fix it. So, yeah, let's see what the other collector's bundle edition stuff was. I don't think there was anything too much more game-wise. Like, if you buy these games, which ones? Moon Patrol, Finnegan Fox, Biplanes. So, did my 8-pack come with Biplanes? I gotta check. I don't know, that Biplanes game looks kind of neat. Oh, it does, too. That's right, because there's 2 packs of 4. And if you get the 8-pack, it includes all 8 games. So that's cool. I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do is put the Dynablaster one on my shelf and just look at it and dream that I could afford the Amico one day. Because I don't know if anyone's converted the price to buy the Amico to Canadian dollars. It literally costs more than the Switch. So I'm like, holy shit, man, it's an expensive console. I can't even really afford it. Who knows? Maybe Tommy one day will send me a console. I doubt it. But yeah, or I could save up for the Amico. Maybe my YouTube channel. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was kind of crappy that you can't choose what games you wanted to buy individually. Because if I was like just able to buy one game, I probably would have just bought Dynablaster and that's it. And I really wish there were some heavier hitters in here, like Cloudy Mountain, or if there was Utopia. Like, fuck, man, I'm a huge Utopia fan. Like, that was literally my most favorite game that I've ever played. Like, when I was a kid, I was addicted to Utopia. My whole Christmas morning when I got it, I basically just played Utopia the whole Christmas. Didn't speak to my family or relatives or anything. It was just Utopia, Utopia. Now, if anyone's wondering why I love Utopia so much, here's a screenshot of it. Holy, was that how bad it was? I was trying to remember what it used to look like. Dear God, that's terrible. But it just goes to show you what we actually had as like choices back then for games. It was a little bit slim to none, right? Sort of like my choices for girlfriends right now. I'm just kidding. No, to be fair, I have been talking to a lot of nice girls. And if they watch my YouTube channel, they're probably going to never speak to me again. Alright, so yeah, let's look a little bit more at Utopia. No, the main thing I like about Utopia is it reminds me a lot about how our universe in real life works. If people have never read the Bible before or heard about the stories, the Bible actually talks about how God interacts, or the creator, with the universe, just like a SimCity game. Where here on Earth, we age 1,000 years for every day where God lives, or whatever that supernatural or scientific realm exists. So that's basically what real-time strategy games are. It's like mankind trying to re-imitate how the universe that we exist all around us works. And the more we learn about how to make these games, the more we start to learn how our universe is actually programmed. I know some people think it's ridiculous that we live in a Matrix type simulation, but I'm one of those people that has seen so much evidence for it over the years. It's kind of hard for me to believe anything else, although I am willing to admit that it could be a wrong theory. And not that we're running in a computer simulation to say that, more it's like a biological simulation. But either way, because like all the ancient mysteries, they talk about it. Like all the gods, they were very envious of humanity because we're able to die. Apparently, wherever they come from, they live as like immortals where they can never die. So they also get like a feeling of not as much excitement. Like the excitement of being able to live or die is just so incredible to them that they're very envious of it. So yeah, that's one of the games that I used to love. And why? Yeah, so you could set crops and then the storms would come and destroy your crops and you'd have to rebuild them. I guess it would keep track of your points and stuff. Oh yeah, and you had fishing ships. Yeah, there is some ships that are fishing. So yeah, this was basically the first like Age of Empires games. I know I kind of called it like SimCity, but I think it's more like Age of Empires. So damn, when this game comes out, I might actually just sell some of my stuff and buy the Amico. That's the one thing I never ordered, the actual console Amico, is I'm not really convinced it is going to launch yet. I'm still a bit worried that Tommy is in over his head and that he has too many volunteers working and that the project will bomb, but who knows? If anyone can pull this off, I think it's Tommy. Alright, so yeah, we got a like and 3 viewers. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I know my Amico live streams are usually pretty dead, so I appreciate everyone. Yeah, so what do the viewers think? Like, are you guys tempted, or ladies tempted, to buy these packs? Which ones are you going for? Are you going for the 4-pack? I know I really should have went for the 4-pack because I'm so broke these days, or trying to save money to get my ass together. So buying this kind of stuff is kind of really weird. Oh yeah, and then they got pay in full or 4 interest-free installment payments. Yeah, see, I know a lot of people criticize Tommy about having a really bad dark side, but when it comes to Tommy, I think he's got a horrible dark side, but a light side that's even to match it. Like, you'll never meet a nicer person at a convention. I've met Tommy at Fan Expo in Toronto, and he was so cool that when he went up on stage and did his presentation, and the presentation time was over, and normally when the presentations are over, the celebrities just leave. But Tommy was so nice, he actually went into the hallway, and he's like, if anyone wants to talk to me after the show, just meet me outside in the hallway. I'll stay until I talk to everyone. So he's one of those celebrities that he doesn't just like take his free time and run. He actually gives a lot of his free time away to people. And you'll notice that too when it comes to YouTubers. Like, he's done streams with so many YouTubers, and a lot of people are like saying, making fun of him about it, but I think that's his nice side. Like, he's literally so nice and he's trying to help everyone. And I think that's what it happens too. You ever notice in life, if you try to be too nice, people end up taking advantage of you, or they look at it as a sign of weakness, or no good deed goes unpunished. So yeah, Tommy's nice side tends to get the better of him sometimes. Like, whose doesn't, right? Oh god, man. So the Finnegan Fox. Oh, so the Amico, have an Amico Day channel. Everyone check out his channel. It sounds like a pretty cool one. I'm going to check it out right after this. Yeah, you probably got yourself another sub. It's cheaper to buy the games digitally. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, if you buy the games digitally. But I'm a collector. Like, you can tell, like, I collect the Intellivision boxes, even from the 70s. Still the original ones I had since I was a kid. So I pretty much got these as a collector item rather than to actually play the games. And will I sell them to try to make a profit? Probably not. I'll probably end up giving them away to my audience at some point during live streams. If anyone's into Amico, who knows? Like, the Amico might become so unpopular that everyone hates it and no one will want these games. Or we could look a couple years in the future and it's like one of the most popular consoles around, and these collector's edition games will make awesome prizes for viewers. Could be one or the other, right? I know that's what a lot of people, they're hating on the Amico, saying that they can't stand it because a lot of these games are old and cheesy, like Evel Knievel or Finnegan Fox. But I just look at Nintendo Switch as an example. For God's sakes, one of the games they launched was Rock, Paper, Scissors, right? And how old of a game is that? How cheap is it to buy? Like a Tom, it's free, right? All you need is your hands. So that's where, like, Ian and Pat, they often make fun of the Amico by saying it's got shitty games. Well, I got news for them. It's like a lot of consoles launch with shitty games. So I'm not at all surprised or going to hold it against them that they got a pretty shitty game lineup so far. I think it's just going to be like uphill from there, hopefully. Like, yeah, once you release these games, who knows, the Dynablaster one, that one actually might be so fun if I watch some reviews that I'll be tempted to buy the Amico as well. The only shitty thing I really don't like about Amico is the no online play. I know they debated it. They're like, oh, online play will come in the future. Then they're like, oh, we're never coming out with online play. Then they're like, oh, maybe there'll be online play. And I think the problem with the online play that Tommy's running into is not that it's harder to program, which it is a little, and not because the servers would cost extra money, because they're probably doing cloud servers anyways, but I think the problem is, let's show, oh yeah, it's because it's kid friendly, right? Once you go online with the console, it all of a sudden becomes way less kid friendly. Because you could get someone on there with a headset that's swearing, and they could say words that kids aren't supposed to hear. So that kind of kills the whole like kids rating. Unless they make it so you can't communicate with other people. Like if you can just play online but there's no chat involved. So maybe that's one way they could release online play and just have it still safe for kids. So that's the one thing I hate about the Amico is I wish it didn't have to be safe for kids. I really wish it was just like adult orientated gaming. So that, yeah, it didn't matter. Like you could give it to your kids if you trusted them, or adults could have as much fun with it as they want. Oh yeah, they could draw bad pictures on the screen. Dear God, I know I've warped some kids' minds with my YouTube content already. Oh man. No, I try not to get too carried away on YouTube, but definitely I take it too far sometimes. I could definitely see why parents wouldn't want their kids getting exposed to like horrible language and yeah, all sorts of stuff. No, back when I was like growing up, I used to idolize Tommy, so that's kind of where I got a little bit of my dark side from. Is yeah, like he used to be all about swearing and stuff all the time. So yeah, that's what I kind of do a little bit too much in my streams. Not to blame Tommy for all my actions, but it's always the victimhood, eh? Blame someone else. Had nothing to do with me. Alright, so yeah, Dynablaster. Okay, let's rank. What are my all-time favorite games on this list of games? I think I'm going to put Dynablaster as number 1. I can't say I'm going to like either of these. Let's put Dynablaster. Ridge Force Redux. I think that's the one that I seen the commercials for, or the YouTube commercials. So I think that one will be my second favorite game. I think just like gameplay wise, what I'll actually like playing is I actually like playing the Evil Knievel game. So if I had to rank that as which games I'd play the most, I'd probably put Evil Knievel at number 3. And between these last games, Biplanes looks like it has potential, right? Like if I bring that game to games night, me and my friends might actually really like playing it. So I might even put that as a tie for 3rd, but we'll put it as 4th right now. I don't know, Brain Duel, as much as I don't like educational games, I had like a major concussion, had to relearn to do a lot of stuff, so I could probably use a little bit of educational content. Oh God. So who knows, maybe I'll like that one. And Missile Command, I know with post-concussion syndrome, having a whole bunch of flashing objects and moving things on the screen definitely makes gaming way harder. So as much as I might like the game, I don't think I'd be able to play it just because it'll drive my symptoms crazy. But yeah, but I don't know, maybe it is a fun game. And then maybe Moon Patrol, second last. I tried it already on the cell phone. Not a really big fan of those type of games, but who knows? That was just the demo. The full version one I might actually like better. Yeah, so here's what is it? Another comment from the viewer. He's saying Rigid Force, Missile Command are the only ones he's interested in so far. Yeah, those ones seem pretty good. Really, the one that I'm most tempted to see overall has to be the Utopia, but I don't even know if I'd have time to play that type of game because I notice those games are really long and intensively. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go carry my uncle to the washroom soon, so we can't go too much longer. Yeah, those games, Moon Patrol, I could see it if the demo improves and it's not as like boring as the demo was, then I definitely might be able to move that ranking up. And I don't really like side-scrolling adventure games like Finnegan Fox anymore. Like I was a big-time player when I played, Mario 1 to death, played Mario 2 to death. Oh wait, Mario 2, no, I never actually owned that one, so I just played at my friends' houses. Mario 3, I played that one to death because I owned it. And when Super Nintendo came out, I tried to play the Mario game for that to death. But I wasn't able to afford a Super Nintendo till many years later, and once we'd already moved on from those type of games. So yeah, as much as I liked playing it at my friends' houses, I never actually owned Mario for Super Nintendo. So I'm a little bit bored of that style of side-scrolling games. Yeah, Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. I played all of those for consoles, like Atari. I think I had the Intellivision version. I can't remember if I did or not. So I definitely liked Donkey Kong. I guess it is like a side-scroller like adventure game, but I like how you can see the whole level at once, so you can work your way up to one screen's worth. I don't think that'll be too many moving objects on the screen to throw off my PCS too. So if they are able to release a new Donkey Kong, that'd be sweet. Yeah, let's look at the Intellivision games list and look at what ones I would buy. Oh, it's here. Yeah, which games would I buy if I already had the Amico and all the games were out? What games am I most looking forward to? Cornhole I thought looked really good until they took the motion controls out. Because I play, the motion control version of Bocce Ball. I play that on PlayStation still on our games night every time we play. We even play Bocce Ball in real life after liking it so much on the console. So yeah, Bocce Ball I liked. That's why I was kind of tempted to get Cornhole. I liked bowling for the Wii. So that's what I was thinking, like, Tommy's doing a lot of things right when it came to that, but I heard that they had to drop the motion controls. Could be because of legal issues. If people started using their cell phones to play cornhole, they might have let go of their cell phone and threw it across the room. And it would be hard to make like a wristband that would hold your cell phone from flying across the room. So I don't know if it was like the actual like legal issues or if it was actually technical issues, but apparently they had to drop the motion controls, which I think that was the whole selling appeal to cornhole. So I don't know. Oh, the Retro Bro. He says that he heard an update that they didn't drop the motion controls for it. So I don't know. I'm just going by, like, I heard that motion controls were working. And then I heard that they got the motion controls working for, what was it? It was either they got it working for the cell phones or they got it working for the Amico controller. Then they had some issues, so they dropped the motion control idea. But you never know. Like the viewer is saying, maybe they've picked it up again. Because that's what I was thinking. Maybe they got such bad reviews about the idea of dropping motion controls that they decided to go back on that and start to get it going again. It was actually Pat and Ian do a whole episode about how Amico dropped the motion controls and why. So if anyone wants to watch CU podcast, I know I argue with Pat and Ian about almost everything, and people think that I hate their show. But just like Tommy, it's like I'm very critical of the Amico, very critical of the CU podcast, but I still love them both. Alright, so let's see. Battle Tanks. That's one of the games that I really loved. So if they came out with Battle Tanks again, I would definitely get that one. Oh, they got Bocce here. So they are looking to add Bocce. If they can add Bocce and have the motion controls working, that'd be one game I should be able to convince my friends at game night to try. Bowling, Brain Duel. Oh, no way. So Retro Bro says he actually had John Alvardo on talking about the updated controls. That's sick. I know I've kind of made fun of him a little bit because he's got that funny mustache. I've got a funny beard, so I guess it's kind of fair game to make fun of the facial hair. And he kind of looked like he was like pretending to work in a lot of Tommy's videos and all the delays that have happened with Amico, but I kind of had a feeling that he was a good guy if Tommy's hanging out with him a lot because... yeah, Tommy's a great guy, so I figured, hey, if he has good friends with someone, chances are they're a good person too. And a lot of the criticism that Amico is getting, including that guy with the mustache, is probably a little bit overblown. Because I know a lot of people just got their expectations so high, right? It's sort of like if Michael Jordan decided to release a basketball game. Everyone would be like, holy shit, it's like this the best basketball game ever. So that's what I think happened with Tommy. Tommy was a critic of video games for so many years and an expert in the industry. With that, when he announced that he's coming out with his own console, everyone's expectations just went through the roof. Like, I don't know if anyone's like heard about the original rumors when Amico was first announced. Everyone's like, oh my god, it's going to have the best graphics out of any console. And then that kind of got lowered a bit. They're like, oh, the best 2D graphics out of any console. And now we're sort of seeing, yeah, it's just like average graphics, but... I'm not a really big graphical whore like I used to be. I think graphics actually went too far. Like once you start getting like photorealistic graphics, it's a waste. I kind of like the cartoony graphics of like arcade style. So that's where I kind of changed in my years. At first I was a graphic whore, but I sort of changed my opinion on that. Now the Pat and Ian, to be fair, like I'm critical of them all the time because I think they come off as know-it-alls. Like they're like, oh, I know everything about game prices or I know all about collecting games. But what I think it is I've gained more respect after watching their show for like a year. I get it that Ian's actually worked in a game store for like, what did he say, like a decade or two that he worked at that Luna store. So he was actually in the industry and the hands like down, like he sees what sells well, he sees what doesn't sell well. He was even talking about how Nintendo has a roller coaster where Nintendo will be super popular and then all of a sudden it'll crash and no one will like Nintendo anymore. And then boom, all of a sudden popularity goes up again. Everyone loves Nintendo products. And then it crashes again. So one of the latest arguments I've had with Pat and Ian is I don't think Nintendo is too big to fail. I'm pretty sure like they're doing all these changes and updates to the Switch because they're worried that Nintendo could go through one of those crashes again and it might actually bankrupt the company this time. And Pat's argument is, he argues with me in the chat, he's like, Nintendo's just too big to fail. No matter how much money they lost, he thinks it will always keep going. And I'm a bit of a console war freak too. Like I used to argue between which is better, Sega or Nintendo. And I used to love Nintendo. Then I started to jump ship and I liked Sega better around the Dreamcast era. And I've never jumped back to Nintendo yet. So I'm kind of on Team Sega. So I kind of make fun of Nintendo a lot. That's where me and Pat and Ian don't always see eye to eye, because I'm always ripping Nintendo. But to be fair, I used to love Nintendo at one point. So I could see them definitely going and rising and falling. And who knows? My biggest, most controversial prediction is that Nintendo will crash all the way to the bottom where they stop making new consoles and Switch will be their last one. And they'll switch to just software, just like how Sega switched to software. And I think Sega is going to do the rise and fall thing too, where Sega crashed and burned, but they're pooling up all their money, they're pooling their resources, and they're thinking about launching a new console soon. So wouldn't it be funny if Nintendo crashes and Sega skyrockets? That's what I'm just kind of hoping from the whole console war thing, but I can tell, people can probably tell I'm very biased about it. I'm a big Sega fan. I even have a Dreamcast VMU still on my desk. No, it's not working. I should update it and get a new battery in there, play some of the games that I have on it. Alright, so yeah, let's see. Cloudy Mountain. That's one game that yeah, I guess they had to change the name. It's no longer Dungeons and Dragons for the copyright stuff. But yeah, they'll call it Cloudy Mountain. That's kind of a neat game. That's one I might try to get into. Earthworm Jim. I fucking couldn't stand the Earthworm Jim games. I rented them for Sega Genesis when I was a kid. Hated them and always regretted renting them. I kind of liked the first level, but I thought they were just too hard. Like I couldn't make it past the first 3 or 4 levels, so that's why I didn't like the games. Or maybe I did make it past those levels, but I just didn't really like it. Who knows? Maybe they'll change it enough that I'll like Earthworm Jim, but Farkle, I don't know. Oh, that's that dice game. No, people like Pat and Ian, like the viewers saying, Pat and Ian do act like know-it-alls. They're saying that board games and stuff are stupid to have on the Amico. But just remember, what was one of the games that sold the Switch? Rock, paper, scissors. So if rock, paper, scissors could sell the Nintendo Switch, and that's a game you can get for free, you just need hands, right? So that's what I was thinking, like, yeah, just because it has these weird games that you could just buy somewhere else cheaper or play them in real life, that's not a good indicator that it's not going to sell well. To be fair, Pat and Ian could be right about that, but that's just my take on it. Yeah, so the Retro Bro, hope everyone checks out his channel. I'm going to check out that channel too, and you probably got yourself another sub. That's what I really should do. Instead of making fun of that John guy, I should learn more about him. I'm pretty sure, like, just all the videos I was watching about Amico, seeing him getting that dice game working, that looked horrible. So I was like, oh God, that kind of left a bad impression about me and him. But yeah, once I watch what he has to say on your show, I bet you that could turn everything around. I'm one of those people that tends to flip-flop on issues. I know some issues I'm very stubborn and I'll stick with. But other cases, I can flip-flop, so maybe I'll really like John. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, you're lucky to get him on the podcast. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm dying to hear what he says about online gaming, too. If online gaming is actually dropped for good, or they might bring it back. That'd be sick. Yeah, so Pong, the issue that I had with Pong and the Amico is they talk about making Pong reimagined for the Amico and how much better it's going to be. But I played Pong on PlayStation 1, and they already made a remastered edition, and it's fucking amazing. It's like one of the most favorite games I played. I even bought it again on the PlayStation Network, so I could play it on my PS4 and stuff. So yeah, Pong remastered for PlayStation 1 is already fucking amazing. And then when I looked at the Amico version, I'm like, oh God, it doesn't look near as good as the PlayStation 1 version. But who knows? It was just in demo phase, so hopefully they'll be able to make it. Like, I don't know if anyone played Pong for PlayStation 1. They had like new boards, like, you know, Pong, they used to have the classic board, then they have like the tennis board, the hockey board, and all those different level boards. Well, the PlayStation 1 version, they just souped the shit out of the levels. So they have some amazing boards you can play. They also changed the paddle so that you could catch the ball and then fling it around and whip it, so that you can whip it and put curves and stuff on it. So I don't know if they're really going to be able to add that kind of features into Amico. That'd be really wild. But that's the one thing. I was like, oh shit, man. Pong remastered for Amico does not look half as good as the one for PlayStation 1. But for Tommy's defense, it is still in beta or like demo stage, so who knows? Maybe he'll actually top the PlayStation 1 version. If he does, that'd be one I would definitely buy. I was actually one of the kids that had the first Pong game. It was, what is it, the Coleco 1? If anyone's seen the original Coleco console, let's bring it up. Coleco 1. Legal 1. I don't even know how to spell. Coleco Video Games.
Coleco is known for releasing more than 6...
There it is. Yeah, see, Coleco version. Let's go back. Does it show the very original one? Let's go. Let's try Telstar Table Tennis. Here it is. Yeah, so this was the first Coleco to launch. Let's see, where's the one that I had? This is the one. So I actually owned this console when I was a kid. So this is basically how long I've been playing Pong for. Fucking shitload of time. And this game was so much fun. Like, I don't know, me and my dad, my brothers played it. And I can't really zoom in on this picture, but it's got little controls there where you could change the paddle size for difficulty. So when Tommy is saying that like this difficulty settings for different players is a new thing, I know technically it's not, because Telstar, the original Coleco, they already had the difficulty setting. Like, you could just change a dial on it to make your paddle bigger or smaller. That's what she said. But yeah, so and this thing's in a fucking museum now. So it's funny, like one of the first game consoles that I ever had as a kid is actually in a fucking museum now. And it really dates you, right? Like when you're going into a museum and you look at some of the artifacts they have and you're like, shit, I was playing that when I was a kid. Now, I was born in 1979, so yeah, quite a while ago. 42 years, roughly. So I don't know, like all these retro consoles that keep coming out, I think Tommy's going to have his work cut out for him, because, what is it? Another retro console that we're seeing come out. Sega's coming out with another one. Neo Geo's coming out with another one. So there is going to be a lot of competition. I know Tommy is saying he's not trying to compete with the modern consoles and not with the retro ones either, but yeah. No, the one thing that Pat and Ian kind of rubbed me the wrong way too is when they talk about all the investment stuff, how they make fun of the people that are buying and reselling games for millions of dollars. And I think they're coming off jaded because they're game collectors and they missed out on the boat. So they literally could have made millions of dollars if they would have bought those like sealed Mario games. But instead they went and bought like that, was it the gold card edition or whatever? That Pat likes to like rub it in everyone's face that he's got the original gold cart for Nintendo. And then it turns out that was a bad investment because, yeah, he could have just bought a sealed copy of like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or Mario 1 or whatever those sealed games were, and he would have made a lot more money that way. So I think that's why he comes off as like a lot of people don't like him. He is a little bit bitter about that. He really missed the boat, and he was like right on the edge of the boat the whole time. So to miss the boat when you're that close, it must be like, it'd be like if you were collecting cryptocurrencies and then you sold it all before it went up in value, and you'd sort of be jaded towards crypto for the rest of your life. So yeah. Alright, so I guess we'll wrap up the show, and I gotta go move my uncle, but thanks everyone for tuning in. Let's give a shout out to all the viewers that are here, or that were here in the chat. So, Mr. Khan, he was in here. thanks again. He was asking about the Amico, so maybe he'll get more involved with Amico, try to get some more people to help support the company. And have an Amico Day channel. He was here. Thanks again for tuning in. The Retro Bro. Yeah, a lot of these guys, I've never heard of these channels before. I might have watched the Retro Bro. I'll have to check it out. But yeah, thanks for dropping in and offering some good advice. I know a lot of people are probably going to be buying these games in the Amico just because they don't agree with Pat and Ian. I know Pat and Ian rub a lot of people the wrong way because they come off as know-it-alls, but I don't know. I still love their show. It's actually my favorite video game show on TV or YouTube right now. So as much as I can agree with people that don't like them, I definitely like them on the other side of the coin as well. They got the best material out there. And they've got like daily episodes, so that's another thing. When we got all these lockdowns and we're stuck inside, it's nice to get a daily video game show. That's why I liked Tommy so much back in the day. He was really the person that I watched video game shows of the most. Alright, so I guess we've almost wrapped up all this. Let's give a shout out to my Vaporizer, and then we'll come back. Oh yeah, we forgot to give a hand of applause to all the viewers, so thanks. What else was there? Let's give a shout out to the patrons list. No, we'll start the annoying e-begging. So if anyone wants to tune out now, I will wrap up a little bit more of the show when we get back from the e-begging, but here's a little bit of the e-begging. I know some channels like to make fun of people that have to try to make money on the side on YouTube, but I'm just one of those people. Alright, so thanks Suki, Dan, Jim, Ray, Travis, and everyone else at Patreon that's been helping. Really appreciate it. And if anyone wants to, like anyone has video game channels and they want to add some cool affiliate links, some of these might apply to you. You can add them to your channel. Obviously, Patreon, Society 6 is the merch stuff. Finishing Quick is my specialty. Comes on t-shirts and bed sheets, both popular with the ladies. And yeah, I've got the link to start your own Society 6 store too. Hideout TV, it'll pay you to watch videos, sort of like YouTube, except the ad revenue is split between the creators and the viewers. So it's not just the creators that get it. Swagbucks, it'll pay you to shop. They just harvest your data for mining, customer information, and purchase histories and stuff. So yeah, they pay you some pretty good prices to get your data. GameKit will pay you to try games. And that's one of the systems I wish Intellivision Amico would use. Is, like, you know how Tommy says there's a problem with Amico because he's going to solve the video game problem by Amico having less games so that the games are good. But I think good games is a very like subjective term. Like some people might love a game, others might hate it. Sort of how like Tom and Vic, when they did Electric Playground, they always argued about what was a good game. So yeah, I don't think there is a technically good game. So this idea that they're going to release less games and that'll make them good, I don't think that's really true. I wish they would go with the model of GameKit, where GameKit just takes companies that make mobile games and games in general, that are games that are just flooding the market with so many, and they pay people to try the games. So it's like they'll pay you to try a game, and game developers will sign their games up to GameKit so that a whole bunch of people will start playing their game. And it's sort of like the drug dealing thing. Once you get the product into people's hands, they hope you'll like it so much that you'll do more in-app purchases. I know Amico is saying they're not doing in-app purchases, and I think that's a horrible mistake. I know that they're doing it for the kid-friendly stuff, but I don't know. I really wish that they had more in-app purchases. Not the kind that break the gameplay, like making better guns or better armor. I wish they did like in-app purchases like costumes, new soundtracks for music, or maybe new character animations. So that's the kind of in-app purchases I like, ones that don't break the balance of the game. So yeah, I wish that Amico would do something like GameKit, like their own GameKit service. That'd be amazing. Because you imagine you had the Amico and you're getting paid to try games. You're like, oh, I'll play this game, see if I can... And how it works, you have to make it to a certain level. So it'd be like, if you play this game, make it to level 20, we'll pay you $1 or whatever. So then a lot of people are like, holy shit, I'll download this game, try to make it to level 20, and if I do, I get paid $1. Woohoo. And it doesn't really break the game company, and it gets their game like in a lot of people's hands. I think that's the model of the future, but who knows, maybe Tommy's right with the way he's going. He definitely knows more about games than I do. Alright, and Free Bitcoin is a wallet system for crypto, and I also got BetFury listed there too. They just give you tiny bits of cryptocurrency so that you can add it to your wallet systems and hopefully you save up these tiny amounts and they go up in value and you're set. Or you can just get the referrals, and the referrals actually add a little bit to your wallets as well. But they also have casinos, so just make sure you don't get greedy and blow all your winnings on the casino trying to get it to go up faster. And just make sure if you're a gambling addict, you stay clear of it and just stick to the wallet system. I know I hate gambling, so I don't even use the casinos much. Right, so anyways, we also got the Virtual Mate sex machine. It's for adults and men only. If ladies need a sex machine, they know who to call. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm not kidding, as it's a real product. It's crowdfunded, kickstarted, all that jazz, but it has shipped. And I actually got one of them, just to vouch for it. Some people love it, other people hate it. And to get it, all I had to do was send the money. But no, I never had the coupon code when I ordered it. So if you want a better price than even I got, I think, you can get $10 off on a purchase of 150 more. Just use the coupon code LYINGBS. That's LYNBSN. And it's not lying bullshit. It's actually a real coupon code. Right, so let's, oh yeah, my website, which I'm going to update the content on there soon. We got a lot of old content, but we've got more coming soon. Alright, so let's go back to the game. Alright, so just say good luck to everyone. I'm predicting that these like online or these physical, well, not physical games, these boxes that they're selling with the coins and the 3D cards, I think Tommy's right that these will be collector's editions that will be worth more in the future. Could be wrong about that. And they'll probably be worth more either way if it actually comes out or if it never comes out. So not to offer investment advice, but yeah, I got a pack of 8 of them. Would that be just a fun part about Ian, or Pat and Ian? How don't they know anything? So that's what I was thinking. Pat and Ian, as much as they know about video games, they do come off as a little bit too much of know-it-alls, sort of like Tommy does. I noticed Tommy and, Pat, they have so much in common. It's almost like they're mirror images of each other. So yeah, a lot of cases they're like, oh, I have all this experience in gaming, I know everything, but I know some cases, like if Michael Jordan says like, oh, I know everything about basketball and I'm the best, he would actually be right? So in some cases, some people can be a know-it-all and it actually be true. In other cases, they might be exaggerating a little bit. So I think, yeah, maybe Pat and Ian and Tommy, they could all be right about some video game stuff and not so right about others. To say that they're all-knowing is kind of weird, right? Only the creator is all-knowing. And even then, he wasn't that all-knowing. Adam and Eve, they were eating the apples and he didn't even know, right? Till he got back. He's like, did you do this? Why did he ask? Because he didn't know. Yeah, so not even the creator himself is actually all-knowing. So anyways, yeah, so if anyone's wanting to buy these games, I highly recommend doing it soon. Because it looks like when I ordered, let's look at the order confirmation number again. Here it is. Yeah, so it's looking like my order was 1,300 and I ordered pretty much right when it occurred. Like maybe an hour after they launched. You can see it was at 2:44 p.m. and that's Eastern time near Toronto. Near one of the places Tommy used to live. He used to actually live in Canada for a while, the Niagara region, I heard. So shout out to another Canadian or semi-Canadian. Yeah, so that's I'm really looking forward to when these games arrive. I'm probably going to do an unboxing for one of them. And if anyone in the chat wants me to give away a game, just let me know in the chat and I'll try to do that in the future. I know I probably shouldn't give them away because I spend a lot of money on these games, but I appreciate all the viewers helping me reach 1,000 subs. If you want to check out my other content, I do travel vlogging, reviewing, video game show. I'm trying to branch out into many different areas. I even did a special about human sacrifice with a politician that ran against Arnold Schwarzenegger in the election. So yeah, I have a wide variety of content and I definitely have a dark side. Not that I'm into human sacrifice. You know, some people research murderers and murder novels, but they're not actually murderers. So yeah, if you want to check out a wild podcast, yeah, that's one for you. Right, so let's wrap this up. I know my uncle's handicapped and I got to carry him to the washroom, so I can't leave him forever. There's going to be a huge mess to clean up. No, I appreciate everyone for joining in the chat. That was awesome. And yeah, just try to remember all the haters and likers of Amico. Try to keep somewhat of a balanced approach. Try to find some pros and cons. I know some channels are going one way extreme or one way the other extreme, but to be honest, I like all of the content, either extreme or not, so I appreciate even the extreme channels. And shout out to Saggy Melons. I know that she's been giving a rough, hard time about like liking the Amico too much, but I don't know, give her some credit. Like, at least she's being fair to Tommy. People shouldn't be bullying him so much, and people shouldn't be bullying Saggy Melons either. It's super mean, but I don't know. Let's hope that these games, yeah, that's what I was going to mention too. Now that Tommy's actually selling these games, hopefully that'll mean that he won't need to crowdfund anymore, and we can just drop the whole making fun of the crowdfunding thing. So that would be kind of cool. And for all the investors that invested in Amico, good luck. I wish I was with you. I tried to invest my life savings in Amico just to like prove a lot of the haters wrong, but they wouldn't even let me invest in my province. My province is very strict. We're not even allowed to like gamble on stuff we want. We have to gamble on the official government website. Government's fucking running up debt so high, they gotta soak us for money wherever they can. So yeah, I wasn't allowed to invest in Amico. I wish I could have. That's the thing, as much as the haters, I agree with them that I don't like the Amico. I wish they did a whole bunch of stuff differently, but I don't think that it's right that it's not going to sell. I think Tommy might hit the jackpot here still. You just look at the Nintendo Switch. They fucking launched with rock, paper, scissors, for God's sakes. Yeah, and the graphics on Switch is pretty much like on par with Amico, so I know there might be a few games for the Switch that are better graphics, but I doubt it. Alright, so yeah, good luck with everyone ordering these games, and I'll try to do a new Amico content soon. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and yeah, definitely check out the interview from Retro Bro. He says that he had John on the channel. I don't know if anyone else seemed like John sort of looked like a slacker and he wasn't doing enough work to get the Amico done on time. That whole interview he does could probably change your opinion. I'm hoping it changes mine. Yeah, because he seems like a really cool guy. One day I'll try to grow a mustache as epic as his. Alright, so let's go to the Vaporizer commercial. If anyone thinks that Tommy is like having a rough go about releasing his own invention, check out what happened with mine. I spent a lot of my time and energy and life savings on my own vaporizer attachment invention, and the whole project failed and bombed. I'm trying to rejuvenate it one day, so if anyone wants to help out with that, if you like the commercial for it, just give a sub on the YouTube channel. I believe it's in the description below, or the Facebook page. Fuck, I forgot to link that. Alright, so I'll add that to the links as well. And I'm trying to do it. If I get 1,000 subs, then maybe I'll try to actually relaunch the company. It's a lot of money and it's a lot of work and time to relaunch it, so wish me luck. Anyways, here's the commercial, and we'll be back in a sec. Alright, thanks everyone again for watching the Intellivision Amico game content. And I guess I'll put a question in the chat below. Did you guys or anyone, do you know, is anyone ordering these games? Do you think they're going to sell out? Do you think they'll be a good collector's edition, or are they a waste of money? I know the viewers in the chat were putting buying the digital versions is cheaper, but I was just thinking as far as like actual physical products go, I know it's not a cartridge, but it's not maybe such a bad idea. We'll see. Only time will tell, right? All right, so I guess we'll wrap up. Oh yeah, let's do my unofficial sponsor message.
If you happen to get, this episode of Amico content was brought to you by Crack. It'll fuck you up. Woo!
No, I've been talking so long I got thrown for a loop there. I forgot which screen we were going to. Alright, so yeah, let's see. Let's go to the very last final message. We gave one to the viewers. We gave all that content. Oh yeah, and rank what you think your best game is. I think I like the game Dynablaster so far with the 8. And maybe second place would be Rigid Force. That one looks kind of neat too. And my all-time hated game is Finnegan Fox. It sucks. No, I shouldn't say it sucks. I haven't tried it yet, but we'll see when it comes out. Alright, so yeah, and does everyone think these games are too expensive? Was it a bad investment for me to buy it? I think it probably could be, or it might not be. We'll see how time tells. And you got to look at Tommy as a good guy and a bad guy. I know he's got a dark side, but he's got a really good light side as well. And here's the information about the payment things. Wow, that's kind of cool. No hidden fees. The most value of your budget. Notice to California residents. So I don't know. I just paid for them up front and didn't do the installments, but that's kind of a neat feature. Alright, so let's finally wrap this up. My uncle's going to be pissed I'm taking so long. Oh, and there's my dad calling too. Alright, so I'll have to see what my dad's saying. But anyways, well, let's wrap it up. Yeah, thanks again everyone for watching. Alright, let's go to the fire screen. Alright, if you happen to get any Amico games, or the gold coins, or the cards, the 3D cards in your vaporizer, and it tastes like shit, give the show a dislike. But if it doesn't happen, you can help with a like. Really appreciate it. Just make sure, never buy the products from my sponsor.
Because it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. See you later.
Yeah, and good luck, Tommy. Hopefully selling these games will get the company going long and hard. And we'll never go bankrupt. See you later. Bye for now. Yeah, Pat and Ian show. It is the know-it-all gaming show. Alright, see you guys. Thanks again. And ladies, bye for now. But watch the CU podcast. As much as I make fun